All right.
Hi, Tumi.
Hi, Olivia.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, so my name is Tumi. I am 26, going on 27. I'll be 27 September 23rd. And I battle clinical depression and PTSD. And also, what I do, I am an intuitive reader slash YouTuber. I graduated from Sacramento State 5 years ago with a bachelor's in communication studies. And also, like, I was born in LA and I was raised in the Bay Area, particularly San Leandro, and currently I'm in Tracy, California.
Thank you for that. Now it's time for me to ask you about your journey with mental health.
So, since my preteens, I've been battling depression. Like as I grew older, I the depression got severe, and like I was officially like diagnosed in the summer of 2020 with clinical depression. And last year I was between last year and 2020, I was diagnosed with PTSD due to like the trauma I've been through with my parents being incarcerated, as well as the PTSD is due to the sexual assault. As a matter of fact, this week, June 17th, will be the year that my sexual assault had happened. So, like, my journey has been challenging. It has its ups and downs. And um, growing up, in my preteens, I had suicidal ideation, but I never had the strength to carry it on. And then like in college, like some of the times I'll just be sitting in my dorm or like my apartment with like a bottle of pills, and I'll just contemplate on taking my life. And I didn't attempt until May 2018 because I just had enough. Like I was going through post grad, like I was going through depression, of course, like being like post grad. So I was like, I moved back home. Things weren't going as planned, and then other things were happening in my life, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up trying to attempt, and I spent like 2 days in the psychiatric hospital, and I came out and I got therapy. And then throughout my journey, I've been doing like therapy, medication for a little bit. Then I stopped. I did the holistic way. I did like aromatherapy, St. John's Wort, Reiki, and like life coaching and so forth. So I guess it has been a challenge because I've been dealing with my parents being incarcerated, and then I had cancer, um, like going on 16 years now, and then yeah, and then I was assaulted sexually last year. So it's been a lot. Like, it's not easy. Like people think that I'm, happy and so forth, but most of the time I'm not. Like when I'm, not recording, or when I'm not like working and stuff, like I just go up to my room, or like, I'll watch TV, and then I'll like listen to music to cope and things like that. And every now and then I'll drink wine to like, ease the pain and numb the pain.
Well, I just want to say that I think you're incredibly strong and also brave for sharing your story. I just want to say thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's been a lot. Like that's what also has been helping me in my journey. It's just like trying to like share what I've been going through, but at the same time, it's hard because it's like I don't want to be a burden on anybody. So it's like I'm eager to help people out, but like when it comes to me, like sometimes I suffer in silence, or I be vulnerable and stuff. And also, what's helped me too is like community, and like finding my tribe, and texting my best friend. Like we'll like send each other like memes, gifs, and just communicating and stuff like that. And also like prayer too, and manifesting and journaling also has been helping me.
Yeah, I know, like, as you mentioned, sometimes it's hard to, like, reach out and ask for help, and you don't want to, as you said, feel like you're a burden to others, but they want to help. Most of the time, you'll find that when you reach out, they'll accept you with open arms, and they'll be more than happy to share your weight and take that weight off your shoulders. And I mean, most of the time, like, you're not alone in your struggles, and there's other people out there that are going through similar situations who are also too afraid to speak up.
Yeah, and then also to add on to that too, like, like I hear that I'm not alone, which is true. And like, along with like feeling like a burden, aware that, my loved ones, they're going through their own, struggles. Like they may not, talk it to me, but sometimes like, I can just tell. And also too, like, how I deal with like, my mental health journey, although it's not good, I tend to like isolate myself and to withdraw myself. And it's not, intentional. It's just, it just helps me, I guess, like, cope and, like I just need my space. It's nothing personal.
Yeah, I totally get that. And so you touched on it a bit, but how have those around you, like friends, family, schoolmates, all of those coworkers, how have they kind of affected positively or negatively your mental health?
Well, like, throughout my life, like, I've lost, some people, like, I guess you could say like falling outs and stuff. Like some of it was my fault because, I have this tendency to like push away others easily before they can get a chance to hurt me. So like I push them away, and like I also have a tendency to cut people off. So that didn't go really well. And like instead of like communicating, it's just easy for me to like, block people without explanation and stuff. And I just disappeared. And as a result of me like disappearing and withdrawing without explanation, we're no longer connected. And that's, I don't blame them, because if it was me, I would have, not talked to them anymore either. But, and, yeah, and it also like it hurt my loved ones when I do that. And like because like they will want me to like, communicate, and I have a hard time with communicating, and it also hurts them because, they wish they could, do more to help, and they wish they were more in control, but they can only do so much. So like, it's hurt them because of me withdrawing, and it's hurt them is because, it's out of their control in a sense. And positively, it helps because, like, I've been vocal about my journey, and like it's helped them, like, you know, to come out and tell their story. And like, I've been told that I've been inspiration. I inspire them and I help them keep going. And so, that's what also has, you know, help them, keep going because of like me sharing and just me being vulnerable. And also, it's helped others positively because they get, an access to, you know, assist me in the journey that I'm going through with stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I know when I first kind of opened up about some of my struggles with my mental health, like some of my like family and friends, like it was one of the things I feared where they were like what did we do wrong? Like how could we have like prevented this or helped this? And like I kind of had to assure them
Mhm.
that like there's only so much they can do if I'm not willing to do the part, like do my part and like be willing to open up to them. Like they can only help me so much if I'm not willing to open up and let them in.
Yes, I agree. And also too, like the mind can play tricks on you. And then that's another thing. Like it's cliche, but like I've always been told to like get hobbies and to, be busy to get out the house and things like that because, I don't mind it's not good, and your mind plays tricks on you because like I will get insecure and then I'll be like, why am I even here? And like not even like, feeling suicidal. I'll just be like, why am I even here? Like I'll question my purpose. I get insecure. I feel like I'm not good enough. And I felt that, if I was gone, like people would my loved ones will be better off without me. Like I'm just there to be there. And I'll like, you know, in the way like my mental health, like it isolates me because sometimes I just feel like an outcast and I don't belong and I'm not welcome, which, it's not true. And then I have to, remind myself that the people that are in my life, they want to be here because they want to, not because I force them to or I make them feel obligated.
That's so, so important. And so my next question is, what would you say, maybe you can just think about the last couple years. It can be a tough question, but what would you say your biggest struggle has been?
My biggest struggle will be, I guess, just like reaching out and just also to just main I don't know how to explain like to maintain to just going through it. I don't know if I'm, making sense here, but like yeah, like just going through it. Like, I just, try my best to like do what I have to do and it's just like it affects me with my daily activities because like back to what I was saying, like, by the time I'm off work and stuff, I don't feel like socializing and stuff. I just go into my room and isolate myself and watch TV and listen to music. And then, like, when I'm not working and stuff, I'll just sleep for most of the day because, like, I just looked at sleep as, I guess, as an escape. And it's like, oh, well, at least I'm not hurting myself. So, sleeping really helps. Well, it eases, it helps me escape from what I'm going through and also to just acknowledge that the trauma that I'm, dealing with. I guess just actually like coming into realization and it's easy for me to just like suppress it and not, you know, feel my emotions. And then I'll feel guilty of, feeling like, like if I'm crying or if I'm angry and stuff, because like I don't know if you heard of like toxic positivity, then I, force myself to like think positive, and then it's just like I don't like give myself an opportunity to actually feel what I'm feeling. Like I deny, it's easy for me to deny and to suppress, and yeah, that's been a struggle. Just actually just going through it because you know like my mental health and stuff, it affects my daily activities, the way, I communicate with people and like the way I isolate and feeling like I'm not heard and feeling that I'm not being understood.
Yeah, and it can be hard to like constantly be in touch with like your mental health, and it's not like, as I spoke about in the last interview, it's not a one day fix. It's something you have to work at and work at and work at for forever basically. And sometimes it can be tough to constantly be checking in with yourself and be like, well, why am I feeling this way? And why is my mind causing me to think this about others, about myself? And it can definitely be a real struggle.
Yes, and it's like to add on to what you said, it's an ongoing journey and not, unfortunately, not everybody understands. Like, yes, there's therapy. Yes, there's holistic health. Yes, there's medication and other resources, but it's not an overnight fix. It's not a one time magic potion. It's an ongoing journey.
If only.
And it's a fight. It's a heck of a fight.
Yeah. So you mentioned some stuff earlier about some aromatherapy, journaling, etc. But what other kind of tools and strategies did you find helped you cope with your mental health?
Like I mentioned before, listening to music, like music is my lifeline. along with God, but like music has been my lifeline since I could remember. And people ask me, "Well, Tumi, how do you do it? You're so strong." And I always tell them God and music, because without them, I do not know where I would be. Like, that's how I can answer. Sometimes I don't even know, but that's all I can really answer. Like, yeah, like listening to music is one, and like I said, therapy. Once in a while, I'll receive Reiki, which is like a form of holistic health treatment, as well as I'm in life coaching. Like I have a life coach. She's been helping me a lot. And she's also a sexual assault survivor. So she's helped me a lot. And, also to like just connecting with people that get me, like community, my best friend and like my loved ones. And my soul family and like that. And also what's helped me cope is just like talking about it and just being vulnerable, because I find out like the more I talk about it, like the more free I feel, the more I feel that I'm healing.
Yeah, I like what you said about being vulnerable because I know that for myself, and I'm sure many others, that vulnerability can be really tough, and opening yourself up, like, it can be really hard to do, especially if you're maybe introverted or normally quiet and you just normally, like, keep to
Yes.
yourself and you're not used to being that open, so sharing personal stuff can be really tough, but as you said, sometimes once you take that step and you open up and you share with others, then it can kind of take that weight off your chest, and you've now opened up and others are there to support you and to lean on.
Yes, but like to yeah, and to add on to what you're saying, like I am like a loner and an introvert. Like my circle is like extremely small, and like my family's on me like to like get out there and to meet new people, but it's so hard. But like what's helped me as far as that is like online, like Instagram has helped me a lot with like networking and meeting people and so forth. So that helps me as an introvert, because if somebody like speaks to me, I'm very friendly and respectful. I'll speak to them, but I'm an introvert and I'm like shy, and I think I'm socially awkward and stuff. And then I'm a goofball too. So that combination is just something else. You know.
Yeah, for sure. So we're almost finished here, but I wanted to ask what words of advice you would give to someone who's watching this and they're currently struggling with their own mental health.
The advice I would give is to just do the best you can. Take it one day at a time. Literally, you can have the goals, you know, you can write down what you have planned, and like you can have an agenda, but just take it one day at a time. Try your best to be mindful and to be in the present. Forgive yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Um, don't feel guilty. Don't make your condition make you feel guilty. You are not a bad person. You are just doing the best that you can. It's okay to make mistakes. And also, you're not alone. I know it's easier said than done, and I know it's cliche, but you're not alone. Like, there's people out there that will love you and support you and help you. There's resources, take advantage of them, and just know that you can do it and know that you can make it, and try your best to cope, to fight. It's okay not to be okay, and be vulnerable, and most importantly, be honest with yourself. If you can't do something, don't force yourself, and take it slow, and do one thing at a time.
I love
And love
that.
yourself too. Love
Oh,
yourself
yes.
too. You got to be
So
your
important.
biggest supporter and your own cheerleader, because again, it's cliche, but if you don't love yourself, no one can. How else you can expect someone to love you? So try your best to love yourself, treat yourself, you know, do things that make you happy and
Mhm.
do things that bring you joy. Like it could just be like, eating your favorite food, watching your favorite TV show, listening to your favorite song. But whatever happiness looks like, do what makes you happy because you only have one life to live.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and talking through some of your struggles and some of what helped you. I'm sure that, I mean, I myself definitely found that I resonated with a lot of what you said, and I'm sure many others out there will as well. And so I just want to thank you for opening up and sharing your story so that others can maybe decide to do the same or just maybe start that conversation with someone near them.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me, Olivia. I really appreciate it. Anything I can do to help, and to, do my part to end the stigma.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, I think you're amazing. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And yeah, take care and
I
have a wonderful
appreciate it.
day.
You do the same, Olivia.
Thank
All right.
you.